Hello everyone! Okay, so first we're gonna vlog a bit. See the puppy on my lap? That's Fitz. He's a mini dachshund. He is new to our family, and he was sitting on my lap sleeping through the first part of this video. And you'll see when he wakes up because his head pops out. So this is my husband. He's bringing me my die cutter because, again, puppy on my lap asleep. So I'm going to create a card for you today. My card base and this little square stitched rectangle that I'm die cutting right now is from the Cardstock Warehouse. This is the Pop Tone Sweet Tooth cardstock. This is called, called the Pop Tone Collection, and it's a Sweet Tooth cardstock. And I have been having a lovely play with these cardstocks. They're new to me, and I've really been enjoying them. So we're going to do a ton of inking today, and we're going to do some embossing. So what I'm going to show you here is not my idea. I saw this, or I didn't see this. I saw a version of it. There's the puppy. He's awake. And now I can move a little bit more freely. I saw a version of this from Lydia, who is on the Altenew design team. And I thought it was really cool, and I thought it was a really nice technique to try to master to use your stencils in a new and exciting way. So I'm using the Flowing Heart stencil from Altenew, and I'm going to use the embossing ink re-inker. So this isn't, we're going to emboss this heart, but we're going to do it in a unique kind of cool way. So I'm just taping down the stencil so it doesn't move, taping down my card base so it doesn't move, and then I'm going to take a little bit of re-inker. I'm going to put just a little bit on my mixed media mat. I probably put too much there, and I'm going to paint over the stencil. So did this work? Not perfectly, but I wanted to show you how I'm going to kind of fix it. A lot of the embossing powder kind of leaked underneath the stencils, but that being said, I want to do this again because I think that once you would get kind of good at it, like, it would be awesome to do this. I think it would be awesome to do this on any kind of project, not just cards, but I think it would be fun to do it on a scrapbook page too. So I'm tapping off, and I did use my anti-static powder tool, but it didn't really seem to help, and now I'm going to emboss it. So like I said, a lot of the embossing powder kind of smooshed up underneath, so the heart ends up being a little bit not as crisp as I would have liked, but that's okay. We are going to do a ton of ink blending today, so there's no pattern paper on this card. I'm going to start with the heart, and I'm going to use Coral Bliss and Puffy Heart crisp dye inks from Altenew, and I am going to ink up this entire card panel. I'm going to alternate the two colors so that we have some light shades and some dark shades and just some pretty little areas. Just so you know, there is a coordinating blog post with this video, and up on the blog you can also see a second example. I also created a layout using this same stencil and inking it. I did it quite a bit differently though. That inking is just the way that you would over a stencil, like normal inking, to help create some fun background. So the inking on that one is a little more subtle. The inking on this one is quite prominent. So I'm just using cardstock here. I'm using this piece of printer paper so that I don't get like smudges or fingerprints on this card base. So now everything is dry, and I'm just going to take a towel and I'm going to wipe the embossing. And you can see there how it is not defined, but it's okay. I'm okay with it, and I'm going to make it look beautiful when I'm finished. So I decided that the colors for this layout are going to be pretty much pink and yellow, and I'm going to incorporate this fun little acetate butterfly. This is a new product in the Altenew store, and they're really fun, and they're gigantic. I also thought about using one of these cardstock stickers and trying to decide which I liked better, but like, it was no real, it wasn't a hard decision to make, because as soon as I put the acetate butterfly down, I loved it. So I'm going to go ahead and collect together all these different pieces, and then I'm going to emboss and create a sentiment banner. So I'm going to use the sentiment here that says sending love and hugs, and I'm going to emboss this the regular way. I'm using the embossing little powder bag, and I'm just going to emboss this. Again, this is being embossed just in white embossing powder from Altenew. And I actually have two different kinds of embossing powder. This is for larger sentiments, the one from Altenew, but then I also have a Gina K one that's like ultra fine, and that one works really nice if you have a smaller sentiment. So very easy embossing the sentiment, and then I'm going to ink up that strip as well. So there's no powder and paper on this, but lots of color. So this is an old clothespin. I wanted to show you this. This is cool. Okay, so this was from Kathy Zelski, but she got it from somebody else. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Lauren Basson. And I love it. I have all these cute little vintagey clothespins, and they're fabulous for getting the embossing. So now let's ink up this strip. I am using Warm Sunshine, and I'm just making sure that exactly like I did before, with a blending tool, and I think this is not a piece of paper anymore. This is paper towel that I'm using, but same difference. It's just going to blend out. I think I mixed up my lids because that should have been buttercream, but it wasn't. It was like an orangey color, so obviously I had flipped my lids out last time I used the buttercream. So now I'm on a search to find my buttercream ink. I'm also going to put a little bit of Sunkissed on here just for some difference. And these are all these little mini ink pads. I haven't used them yet, so I had to get a new foam pads for them. I hadn't used them. Well, I've used them, but not with foam pads before. So, and then I'm just going to set that aside to dry just a little bit. So I'm going to back my card with some fun foam, and pop it up onto a card base. So this is I think it's called a front. Sorry. Hold on, it's playtime around here apparently. Sorry about that. I'd retake it, but I often get comments about how much you guys like to hear the dogs, so that's morning playtime, or as I like to call it, morning crazies. So this is a top folding card, and I am just going to go ahead and get this together. So I loved the pink and the yellow and the white. I thought that this color combo was beautiful, and it went so nicely all together. So I have my acetate butterfly down, and I just adhered it down with some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, and now I'm adding some little enamel dots because I like the yellow and I like that pop of yellow. So this is just a lovely thing. Just so you know, you can make a card any color you want just by using some ink blending techniques. You don't need any pattern paper. You don't need any special type of paper. I really like this cardstock from the Cardstock Warehouse. I think it turned out fabulously, and it took the ink beautifully. But if you don't have that, you can use whatever you do have, and just practice and see what you have that would work. So that's going to complete this card today. I'm just giving this a nice press down, and I'm going to go ahead and trim off the edges. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you all again very soon. Bye.